Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Ha, ha, ha. I hope my guests is able to understand this thing fine and come through. Wow, that was that short.
This country is time for education. It's about what the Liberian people need. Our needs and wants. The leader that can provide all the best praise, look at your homes, look at your villages. You are living in huts. If both and English can develop country, Liberia is supposed to be the best country in the world. This country is not about education. It's about what the Liberian people need. Our needs and wants. The leader that can provide all the best places, look at your homes, look at your villages. You are living in huts. If both and English can develop country, Liberia is supposed to be the best country in the world.
We're forgetting that we need each other. We're forgetting that we need to look out for each other. We're forgetting that except the least of us is taken care of, that the best of us cannot survive. We're forgetting that it's one world and it's a very small world. I've traveled across all the continents and I can tell you, we need each other. It's such a small world that if we don't learn to love and respect ourselves and forget those things that we think are important but are actually unimportant, and if we do not have the courage to speak up when we should, then we set every one of us up for trouble. Take a child from every local environment in this world, no matter their tribe, the color of their skin, their language, or where they come from. Put them all in one room, and you would find them as a team, playing together, supporting each other, except you teach them otherwise. They will work together to solve every problem that you give to them. That's what we need to be. We need to go back to being children of the world again. We need to be a people who believe in love, in faith, in kindness, in caring for our neighbors in a way that together we can find the solution of the world. We need to understand that not a single one of us is an island to itself, that every single one of us holds a piece of what is required to build the right world where we can all survive. Whether you're a business person or you're a career person or you're someone who is working in whatever field, we have one home and we share it together. We either protect it, we fight for it. In fighting for the world together, we fight for ourselves. In building a better world, we build a better home for every single one of us. In building a better future, we build a future for our children. It's a small world. It's too small for divisions. It's too small to be divided. But more than what some people think is what you think. How you can dare to think and determine what is right, and how you have the courage and the audacity to stand up and fight for what is right. How you can look your neighbor in the eye no matter where they come from and think of what is in their interest as well as in your interest. How you can remember that no matter how smart you are, you're not smart enough to survive by yourself. No matter how rich you are, your wealth alone cannot keep you alive and keep you safe. That we all need one another, looking out for one another and understanding.
All right, well, good afternoon to you, whoever you are, however few, but the you will also include the people to come later when the show is long done and settled, those who will come and watch the show. So greetings to you as well. Obviously, my name is Kafumba Kroma, and we will be playing host to one of our sisters. She will be joining us shortly. This is her first time coming on this platform, so it can be a challenge sometimes. So I'm sitting here communicating with her in hope that we can get her to come on the show. We just have 2 hours time to spend together, and so the sooner she gets here, the better. So I hope she can. So I'm gonna go back to find a little bit of entertainment, and then I will why I tried to bring her on. All right, so please hang in there, hang in tight, and once again, thank you for being here now or being here later. And quickly, I need you to know that next week Sunday we have another big guest. It's going to be Hassan Belete. You know Hassan Belete, right? The brother who works with the ICC, the International Criminal Court, the one who is believed to be behind the arrests and prosecution of all would-be former warlords, at least from Liberia, including, and don't forget, including our brother who recently got sentenced to Sweden. And I'm referencing Brother Ali Koiquah. So Hassan Belete will join us to speak to that issue and speak to the relevance of establishing the war and economic crime courts in Liberia. So you can't miss next week Sunday. You just cannot. So let me keep you entertained as I try to bring on this sister here.
IMF, World Bank, all other institutions, they make African countries jump through hoops. Loans will never be able to pay. The US, when they borrow money, they're getting it in 1.5, 1.9 interest rate. Africans, when they get the same amount of money, they're paying 9, 10%. The people who don't need a break, they get a break. The ones who need a break, they don't get a break. The sheer survival of the World Bank, IMF, is based on the fact that African countries and many other developing countries do not succeed. Their success is based on our failure. That has to change. And guess who can make that change? We, the children of Africa, we, the Africans, are the ones who have to say, we know your game now. Enough is enough. We're not playing it anymore. And this is where the diaspora come in. There are more Ghanaian doctors in New York City than in the entire country of Ghana. There are more Nigerian doctors in LA than in the entire country of Nigeria. So let's be serious here. What Africa needs is capacity, capacity, capacity. And that capacity is in the diaspora. So it behooves us to bring the diaspora together. Let them understand what is really going on in our Africa. Diaspora are not going home. Diaspora are angry about Africa because they are not understanding the root cause of why Africa is where it is today. They think getting rid of a president will take care of the problem. Far from it. That president is just going to be replaced by another one who is going to equally suffer from the same difficult environment to work in. So let's look at an Africa that must be free to take care of herself, an Africa that's free from exploitation from outsiders. The multinationals who are stealing from Africa every day in broad daylight. I use an example of the DRC. If you ever fly very low over the DRC, you'll see tarmacs in the jungle. You'll see 747s flying into DRC, picking up minerals and flying right out. The same multinationals are responsible for arming young people and giving them MK-16s. Because why? Their satellites in the skies are telling them where that village is. There are lots of diamonds. So what do? Arm young people, drag them up, and send them to go chop off a few heads. The rest of the village runs away, so they come behind and do their illegal mining. We black people must understand what is really going on. Because what we are shown instead is, oh, look at those Africans killing each other. There are some serious games that have been played in Africa for far too long. And once we understand that, we can strategize as to how we can begin to bring the difference and bring the change that Africa needs. And that change can only come if the African diaspora are united. And the Wakanda villages, as I call them, it is our organized way.
So, folks, please bear with me. I'm still working with the guest, I'm trying to bring her in. I just spoke with her. She thought she was in, but I'm not seeing her here. Neither are you. I don't think so. But I'm working with her, so that's why I'm playing these videos, right? Please take no offense, because I will definitely bring you our guest as promised, inshallah.
Let's talk about 104 million.
Liberia is a small country in West Africa, as you know, and like a lot of small countries, they print their money abroad and then they ship it into the country. It's just cheaper to do it that way. So at some point last year, the Central Bank of Liberia ordered up 16 billion Liberian dollars to be printed and shipped to Liberia. 16 billion Liberian dollars is about 104 million US dollars. So they put that money in canvas bags. They put it in 20-foot tall sealed containers. It entered Liberia. It cleared customs sometime late last year, earlier this year, and then it vanished. $104 million Poof.
Wow.
Now, when we're talking about U.S.-China trade, 104 million may not sound like a lot of money.
Oh, but in Liberia, it's
that's
huge.
5% of GDP. Yeah. This is one bank heist big enough to affect the inflation rate in that country.
Holy smokes, 29.
29. Japan is a country that has been traditionally resistant to welcoming immigrants for reasons political
and needs help. In Liberia, the journalist who broke the news about the millions of dollars gone missing says his life is being threatened. Philip Brown, while speaking to local media, says he has had to get police protection after he and his staff had received several calls from strange people who threatened to kill him. Meanwhile, citizens have been reacting to the news as the government has ordered an investigation into the disappearance of the banknotes.
The level of rampage corruption is affecting our country. It's not only the country, but affecting the poor masses. If I walk along the street and look at the cripples, look at the blind, I know that now you are riding an air-conditioned car which you have been riding, but many people cannot afford. Majority of the families in Liberia today, they go to bed on an empty stomach.
It have triggered the effect on me, it have effect on you, it have effect on everyone of us, because if money is circulating in the economy, that those that are supposed to account for it cannot account for it, is troubling. I'm calling on the ambassador, Dr. George Manuel, we are to be able to promptly investigate the master as to see who is responsible. If any of the government officials are responsible, they should be brought to justice.
Authorities in Somalia have arrested 4.
Hello. Yeah, hello, I'm here. Have you clicked the link? Are you coming?
IMF, World Bank, all other institutions, they make African countries jump through hoops. Loans will never be able to pay. The US, when they borrow money, they're getting it in 1.5, 1.9 interest rate. Africans, when they get the same amount of money, they're paying 9, 10%. The people who don't need a break, they get a break. The ones who need a break, they don't get a break. The sheer survival of the World Bank, IMF, is based on the fact that African countries and many other developing countries do not succeed. Their success is based on our failure. That has to change. And guess who can make that change? We, the children of Africa, we, the Africans, are the ones who have to say.
So I'm still working with the guest, believe me, she's doing her best. She's giving her very best. This is no fault of her own. Neither is it mine, it's technology, right? So all these online shows, online platforms are different. And so there's no one way solution to all. So everywhere you go. The thing is though, I wish, she had made herself available earlier. That's always a good thing. So we could test this thing out before now so that we don't eat into our time. So we're going 12 minutes past our start time. But I think, trust me, folks, it's going to worth it, right? I think this lady, from what I heard and reading her CV, I think it's going to worth your time. So just bear patient. Be a little patient with her, with us. Hang in there as she try to walk her way to our studios. So that we can begin this long-awaited interview. One that I believe, will definitely, make all the sense. So, and I don't know at this point in time. Let me see. Maybe should I send her a new link? Let me try that. Okay, let me copy this link. And go right here. Send her a new link. See how that works. I just sent her a new link. I can take this one back. So you see, I just sent her a new link. Hopefully she can click on that and come to studio here. My apologies. We are trying to do our best to make this thing happen. Yeah. That's exactly what is there. Frankly, this is beginning to be a bit concerning. I don't know. Here, I'm going to call this lady again.
This country is not about education. It's about what the Liberian people need. Our needs and wants. The leader that can provide all the best places, look at your homes, look at your villages. You are living in huts. A book and English can develop country. Liberia is supposed to be the best country in the world.
don't know what to tell you anymore because I've sent this one link over and again and again, but I'm still not having luck with the guests coming in studio. And so, and I just called her the last time, she didn't even pick up, so, but I know she's committed to being here. After all, she made this request and not me, so that tells me she really truly does want to come on the show. So just in case you are here and don't know who we are talking about, this lady, her name is Victoria Torlo Koiquah, and she's the executive director of Peace Liberia, promoting equality and accountability care Liberia. She's a deputy vice chair for political and international affairs, ANC, Alternative National Congress, that's a political party, and a member of the National Advisory Committee of the CPP, Council of Petra, right? An advocate for gender equality, women, political participation. Madam Koiquah will discuss the following topics today with us. We'll look at Gov't in Liberia and the government's response. We'll discuss women and political participation, and we'll talk about the $15,000 that we talked about yesterday. Remember the $15,000 that was given to the lawmakers unjustifiably. All the national issues, there you have it. We'll read these things again if we can even get her to come in. Somehow her coming in is proving to be a serious challenge. I don't know why, but anything you don't know, people say it's older than you. So bear with me. I'm going to go back to some of these similar videos as I try to, continue my effort in getting her on the show.
We're forgetting that we need each other. We're forgetting that we need to look out for each other. We're forgetting that except the least of us is taken care of, that the best of us cannot survive. We're forgetting that it's one world and it's a very small world. I've traveled across all the continents, and I can tell you, we need each other. It's such a small world that if we don't learn to love and respect ourselves and forget those things that we think are important but are actually unimportant, and if we do not have the courage to speak up when we should, then we set every one of us up for trouble. Take a child from every local environment in this world, no matter their tribe, the color of their skin, their language, or where they come from. Put them all in one room, and you would find them as a team, playing together, supporting each other, except you teach them otherwise. They will work together to solve every problem that you give to them. That's what we need to be. We need to go back to being children of the world again. We need to be a people who believe in love, in faith, in kindness, in caring for our neighbors in a way that together we can find the solution of the world. We need to understand that not a single one of us is an island to itself, that every single one of us holds a piece of what is required to build the right world where we can all survive. Whether you're a business person or you're a career person or you're someone who is working in whatever field, we have one home and we share it together. We either protect it, we fight for it. In fighting for the world together, we fight for ourselves. In building a better world, we build a better home for every single one of us. In building a better future, we build a future for our children. It's a small world. It's too small for divisions. It's too small to be divided. But more than what some people think is what you think. How you can dare to think and determine what is right, and how you have the courage and the audacity to stand up and fight for what is right. How you can look your neighbor in the eye no matter where they come from and think of what is in their interest as well as in your interest. How you can remember that no matter how smart you are, you're not smart enough to survive by yourself. No matter how rich you are, your wealth alone cannot keep you alive and keep you safe. That we all need one another, looking out for one another and understanding.
All right. Well, for folks, once again, good evening to you, and thank you for being here, whoever you are. I do want to apologize to you. My sincere apologies to you. Here she's testing me now. We can't get our guests to come in. I think I'm having internet issue. It is just turning. So if it's an internet issue, then in Liberia, I really can't do much about that. This is her last text message here. She's having internet issue. That I really can't. I can't do. Let me see. Let me test her and see if she needs me to send some credit. If that would do, I'd be glad to send her credit. I can do so right here from my phone. Okay. Should I send you some data? Let me see how that works. Where's it at? Should I send you some data / credit? Let me see if she wants that. So, but yeah, if she's not able to come, obviously we'll have to reschedule. But this lady, I was really looking forward to hearing from her. I've heard a lot about her. I heard she's doing a lot of good jobs in and around Liberia, for different communities. I even learned something very, very interesting from this young lady the other day as far as her faith, her religion. She told me something that was so fascinating. Maybe we'll talk about that another time. I'm not sure if I'm at liberty to talk about it just yet. But yeah. But this lady is a very, very true, remarkable, civil servant, women and children advocate. And so I was really up to learning from her today. I'm sure some of you were too. But unfortunately, these things happen. It wouldn't be the first time that we've had a show schedule that didn't materialize, right? So these things happen, and they happen, just when you least expect it. Let me say, then, comma, please turn off your PC and turn it back on. She said the thing just keep going in circle, just rolling. And turn it back on. That's the first solution. Right? The RT people will tell you, just turn it off and turn it back on and see if it reset itself. Then please turn off your PC and turn it back on. So as I was saying, I hope she comes through, but we are almost half an hour, 30 minutes behind time. And if she does come, it will still be a pleasure, to tap into this lady's wealth of knowledge. But if she does not, no problem, nothing spoil. We will reschedule the lady for another time. But mind you, but again, let me remind you that you cannot afford to miss Sunday's show next week, Sunday. Why? Because it's going to be a big one, especially nowadays. Why do I say so? Not that the guest we're anticipating today is smaller, but in terms of issues, current events, I think our brother and friend, Honorable Honorable Hassan Bilete, who represents the International Criminal Court at some level in Liberia, the man who is believed by many within our community, in the larger community as well, to be the mastermind, behind the arrest and trial of some folks, who participated in the war. That man will be appearing on the platform Sunday. Let me see. He sent me a picture that he wants me to promote the show. So that man will be coming to speak to, I like to say, to celebrate, the sentencing of Brother Ali Koiquah, but that's a terrible war. I don't think, in good conscience, I don't think, and I hope he's not celebrating that, even though it's hard to think why not, considering the fact that that's his work, that's what he does for a living. And so every time, now let me tell you this, as a criminal justice practitioner, as a licensed police officer, every officer knows that arrest is only as important as conviction, right? In other words, when you indict somebody, you arrest somebody, you charge somebody, if that person is not convicted of the charges, if they are let go free, much like Gbagbo from Ivory Coast, the former Ivorian president, then you, the arresting officer, you, the charging officer, kind of look foolish. It happens all the time, don't get me wrong, but, the goal of arresting and indicting, people is to see them be convicted. I know somebody will say, be exonerated, yeah, but if I'm arresting somebody on probable cause, I want to make sure that I got enough evidence to bring before the judge to make sure that that person is convicted. And if the person is convicted, it makes you feel good, right? You who did the arrest, you who provided the evidence, because one way, it makes you credible before the judge and before the public. So it makes you look like you know what you're doing. And it makes you, if nothing else, it makes you look like you did not lie on the person. So it's fair to say that one way or the other, and that's a question I'm going to ask Brother Ability, whether he's celebrating the imprisonment, the 20-year sentence of Brother Ali Koiquah in Switzerland. I will ask him that, I guarantee you, trust me, because like I said, if he play any part in that, in the arrests, or as far as bringing what I have called fake witnesses that were airlifted from Liberia to Europe, people who never been on a good in a good vehicle before. Their best ride have been keke, to put those on the first class airplane to come to Europe to testify against what some people will consider as their hero. To me, was mind-boggling, and I don't think those witnesses could have produced any kind of credible evidence. But anyway, so Hassan Belete will be on this platform. He will come, we'll talk about this and many, many other issues. And so you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. Here's Hassan Belete, and this is the picture he sent me that he wants me to use for the announcement of his appearance. So shortly here, I will schedule a show, and I will, post this picture. You will see it on my page, LDF page, as part of an announcement for him coming on the show to talk about both his work. We've heard so much about his work before. Or if you read here under the picture, I don't know if you did, I can show you again. It said, use this photo where I am at right now. There's no such facility. We can either do it on WhatsApp or direct phone line. Would that be okay? No, this was before. I know now, he knows now that we have to do it via, okay, so I just heard back from our guest. No, I have data. Okay, she rejected my offer to send her data. Internet is not good at all. Okay. So I'll just say, oh my God. I like to hear people say, let's reschedule them, because it's almost going to over 30 minutes now delay. I don't like that. Let's reschedule then. Let's reschedule, right? If that's okay with you. If that's Liberia. You see, these are some of the things we're talking about in Liberia. Internet, simple internet, Now, notice how, what's his name? what's this kid name? The one I had yesterday. Martin and Colley came on the show yesterday with ease. He didn't have any problem because currently he's not in Liberia. Of course, I can't tell you where he is. This is a man who's on exile. So but he had no issues because he was in different part of the world where internet is no longer. Internet is becoming to be a right, not a privilege anymore. Seriously. I know this is debatable. The folks who will disagree with me, but my friends, internet is becoming more of a right now rather than a privilege. Liberia just so damn backward. I hate to say this about my own country, but that is the hardcore truth, right? Liberia is so backward that internet, current electricity of all, for God's sake, for crying out loud, electricity, safe drinking water, good health care, hospitals, good education, good roads, all those things are becoming rights. The people are entitled to them now in this day and age, 21st century. But now in Liberia, if that's okay with you, Honorable. But I guess Mama Liberia is a different story, completely different. Well, we'll pray. See, my prayer for Liberia to prevail. Sorry about this. My prayer, I feel terrible. My prayer about this, it's not. I don't have any. I have no doubt that Liberia will prevail, just as it is stated in our national anthem. There's no question in my mind that Liberia will be the Ishani city, Ishani country on the hill one of these days. I have no doubt about that. What I have doubts about, and for which I continue to pray, is that I don't want that to happen when I'm dead and gone. With my age now, our ages, we are aging. And if Liberia remains what it is, what we've seen all our lives, unless some good leadership comes to power and speed up with development, otherwise we may not see a thing happen in our lifetime, right? Now, maybe our children or our children, who knows? But I truly pray for Liberia to do well. I feel terrible. I'm chatting with this honorable here, Honorable Victoria, to say the least. I feel terrible to say the least, right? So, is that okay? Should we reschedule? Yeah, it's I didn't come prepared for a monologue. I'd be happy to give you one, but I came today with anticipating a guest. So if that guest, due to no fault of our own, is that okay? Can't be here, then we can just call it a show, a night, a day, and just get out of here and go turn to other things. There are plenty of things we can turn to. So let's see the topics that she was going to take on. The first one was going to be COVID-19. We talked about COVID-19 yesterday. I think Martin Colley did justice to that conversation yesterday. Boy, that boy is so well researched. He does his research so well. He's going to be another, if he's not already, serious tongue in this current and even future Liberian government's flesh. I would argue Martin Colley is going to be around for a long time. If God spare his life and his health, I'm willing to bet that he's going to be a serious challenge, a serious trouble. I mean, I don't mean trouble in a negative sense. Someone who will hold this government as well as future governments accountable because he does his research well. He does his research better than many. I can't think of a single Liberian, I'm not very, I mean, that's taking it to the far extreme to say a single, but I can't think of so many Liberians or many Liberians who research as much as Martin Colley does. That's the conclusion I gathered from hosting him yesterday. He does his research well, and that he provides facts and evidence. Everything he measures, he will give you facts. Some facts, whether it's up to you to accept it as a fact or not, but he will give you something to hold on to, something for you to go and research, something for you to go and verify. And honestly, that's all about intellectualism. Many of us are so lazy these days, including the Costa. Costa is a very lazy talk show host anyway. Tell him I said so. But I like him, because he's very well informed. He gets information that he gets not through research, through people believing in the power of his media outlet, his communication, for lack of a better term. And so he gets these great connections and contacts. So he brings new flavor to the discourse every time. He gets breaking news. But as far as researching, digging up information, digging deeper to get to the bottom of it, I think Martin Colley brought me over yesterday when he appeared here. Speaking of Henry Costa, I'm going to go after him to come on the show here. I know you find that surprising, right? Considering that my days at Freedom FM, given how that station is managed and run, I wasn't a big fan of Costa, and by many accounts, still not. See, the way I roll was that it hard for me to support people like 1,000%, unconditionally. So I can agree with you, on certain things, but disagree with you on others. So depending on the day of the week, on the subject that's being discussed, on the issues, which side, so there are many variables, there are many thoughts, that I put into my decision when it comes to, favoring people, standing up for what's right, standing up for people, supporting people or not supporting them. One thing though, I try to be fair, firm, and consistent. Let me repeat that. I try to be fair, firm, and consistent when it comes to the issues that I identify with. For instance, I'm a strong believer in the rule of law. Support the Constitution, constitutionality, constitutional matters. Wherever it is, whoever it affects, I will be on the side of the right, the Constitution. If that means I'll be against my family, if that means I'll be against, a friend. I saw the lady just wrote, this is so heartbreaking, right? I agree. It is heartbreaking. I know, but it happens. It happens. It happens. So if I offend from time to time, if I have to go against you as a friend, as a family, I will do so in a heartbeat, to stand with the truth, to stand with what I perceive to be the truth based on my limited God-given intellect, based on my investigation, based on my inquiry. And if down the road I found out that I was wrong, I'm not big to apologize. I'm not big to switch sides. I've switched sides many times in my life upon realizing that, in fact, I was in the wrong. That, in fact, my view of the matter of a particular issue was far from, being accurate. But until then, I stand with the victims. I stand with the oppressed. I know someone once said that the victims of yesterday in Liberia have become the oppressors of today. The victims of yesterday are now the oppressors of today from time to time. I'm trying to reply to this lady's text from time to time. Please get some rest. I want to get some rest. So please get some rest. From time to time, some rest, and we will do this another time. Inshallah. Okay, so well, it's 3:45, right? So we got 1 hour late, so there's no point starting this show, considering that the lady was pressing to be very, to be very specific about the time that we're going to spend on the show. And so, and I had given her the assurance that we're going to be on the show for no more than 2 hours, starting from 3 p.m. So we would have ended the show at 5. Now, I understand it's possible if she came in now, she could make adjustment, to accommodate us for the lost time. So instead of us ending 5, we could end at 6. But I can't do that because I have other things to do. I worked last night. It's Sunday today, and tomorrow the work week starts all over. Not to mention, I do have to drive to go pick my daughter up from her job. And then, so I wouldn't do that. The best bet I would suggest is for us to call it a night, a day, and then we can reschedule this. Nothing wrong with that. Things happen. We can reschedule this. Trust me, and then we'll come back and have a brand new show with our guests. That's what I think. What do you think? What do you think should happen? Let me see here. Do you have any thoughts? Give me some ideas here. What do you want? What do you want? I guess. So yeah, we want to reschedule this show. This lady is not coming. She's having trouble with her internet. We've sat here for about 30 minutes and we keep writing back and forward. She's not getting through. But folks, man, please, let me emphasize this again. She just wrote again. What did she say now? You don't want to miss. She said she has both internet on, right? I have both internet on. I don't even know whether they got maybe that Lone Star and Orange, or I have both internet on. She got both internet on, but it's not working. What a messed up country Liberia has become. This day and age, 21st century. Go to the Ivory Coast. Go to Ghana, folks. You have super internet. Yes, it's costly. Yeah, good things come with cost, right? And I get it. I know how, given that Liberian people are so used to getting everything free. And so, but yeah, government plays her role well, by bringing good, solid internet to people. I'm thinking someone hacked my line. Ooh, see this? She thinks someone hacked her line. I am thinking someone hacked my line. So I hope that's not the case. So, but she's not going to make it. I hope her line has not been hacked. I want to blame this on Liberia. This is Liberia's problem, not our guest's problem. This is not her fault. This is what happens when you live in a messed up country, when you have corrupt leadership, corrupt leaders, people who put personal interests ahead of public interests, people who don't care about their people's welfare, people who don't try to, align with the rest of the world when it comes to development. Liberia should not be in the situation that she's in. But this is what happened, when people don't have place to run for decent health care. Well, you heard Martin calling on the show yesterday. He laid out the facts. Liberia is currently out of COVID-19 vaccine, right? No, not a big deal because it shouldn't be a big deal, right? Because considering that the vaccines were not manufactured in Liberia, they got it just like many other countries. And so, but the point is, all the money they're wasting around and the little that was given to them, had they managed that properly, at least the people who took the first dose of the vaccine should have been able to get their second doses, right? But no. So now you have a situation where if Liberia gets when, because it's a matter of when, not if, I don't think the international community will allow us to just starve to death, to let our people just, die with COVID-19. So I think at some point in time, the international community, WHO, World Health Organization, the US, will smile on Liberia by giving us more vaccines. But here's what I think is going to happen. When we get the new consignment, when new vaccines come to Liberia, it appears that they're going to have to start all over again. I mean, that's what I want to believe. So now, don't take my word for it. I'm not a healthcare practitioner. We can all talk to healthcare practitioners about this. Medical doctors, renowned nurses that we have in our community, we can consult them on this analogy that I'm about to make here quickly. Said Liberia vaccinated several few thousand people, and they gave all the vaccines one time instead of reserving some, for giving some to a few thousand and then keeping the rest to for the number of people served, and then to be able to serve those people their second doses. They went ahead and vaccinated all the several thousands for all the vaccines that they had. And now they don't have vaccines anymore. They can't give fresh dose or second dose, right? What a country. Do they not have what kind of that mud in their brains? So now they don't know how long it's going to take before new consignments of COVID vaccines will come in the country. So what I'm saying, or what I like to say, who knows if a new COVID vaccines don't make it to Liberia soon enough, it's almost given. I would think that after the 2 weeks or 3 weeks times interval between the first and second doses, elapse, it seems to me that they're going to have to start all over, right? Does that make sense? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not even a nurse, not even a nurse aide. But I just think, I think and I know there's a very good reason why, they have a specific time interval between the first and the second dose of the vaccine. Those who took 2 doses, not unless it did Johnson & Johnson, but to the best of my knowledge, the vaccines that went to Liberia, none of it included Johnson & Johnson or any other vaccine that was just one shot. The vaccines were the kinds that I took here, many of us have, taken here in the US, that is in 2 phases. You take the first dose, 2 weeks apart, you go by for the second dose. Now, there are several folks in Liberia, including some that I know, I spoke to, who took the first dose, and they have gone to health ministry, they've gone to everywhere, including places where they were vaccinated the first time. Now they've been told straight out that there's no vaccine to be given now. What's worse, when they ask when you think there'll be vaccine, they say, we don't know. How can a whole government look in the eyes of our citizens and say, we don't know? You're on your own, folks. We don't know. We don't know when we'll get another free vaccines to supplement, to add have you vaccinated for the second time. The government said they don't know. Yeah. They don't know when they'll get another consignment of vaccines, to vaccinate people that they vaccinated prior. What a country. How did my country of birth, come to be this way? How did it? Where did we go wrong? Is it a bad thing to elect people based on what we perceive to be honesty? We knew that some of the people, including the current ones, there's no secret. We knew that they were not the most educated. We knew they were not the smartest, but we thought they were the most honest of all the people that were presented to us. So where's the honesty? Where is the honesty here? Thank you, Brother Frank Sano. I agree with you. We need to reschedule. So I've communicated that with the sister, but apparently she's very troubled over this, and so am I. And I hope you will understand and bear with us. We'll do this show again, inshallah. But don't forget, next week Sunday, Hassan Bilete will be on this platform. Hassan will be on this platform. He'll come and speak to the sentencing of Brother Ali Kosha. I want to say he's celebrating it. He didn't tell me he is, but like I said, I gave you the analogy, right? When you arrest someone and charge them and send them to court, when they are convicted, you feel vindicated. You feel relief. You feel you had a good case. You feel you were right for making the arrest, for making, or the charge for, charging them the way you did. So that's cause for celebration, whether inwardly or outwardly. You can do, you feel good, you feel great, you feel uplifted, if you become credible in the eyes of the judges, the prosecutors, and your colleagues. So based on that analogy, I'm inclined to think that Hassan Billet is celebrating, or at least celebrated, the conviction of Brother Ali Koiquah, which is mind-boggling. But I'm going to ask him. You'll be my guest next week, Sunday. I'll ask the hard questions, and I hope you can join me to ask the brother the hard questions. Now, mind you, I've interviewed Hassan Billet twice on Freedom FM when I sat there as a Freedom Morning Rise host. I brought him on the show. We had this conversation before, but something he said and has always maintained, Hassan Billet, in response to Mandingo people's accusation that he hasn't been fair, that he's been biased towards them, Hassan said, only if we knew how helpful he's been to his community. Only if we knew how much he's helped the community. That's what he said. His words, not mine. Call him. When he come on the show, I'll be glad to double check that with him. When I asked what you mean, he said, look, Brother Kafumba, you wouldn't understand until the day I leave this position. He said, if I wasn't in that post, if I wasn't who I am, the situation be different. I don't know what he meant. What he meant. I still don't know what he means by that. But I'm just bringing it out to you. I mean, we can relate to him. Some of you can even better relate to him than I can. When you have the chance, ask the brother. All I'm saying is that he has once again accepted my invitation to be here. The same place, same time, same place, next week, Sunday. I'm not having show next week, Saturday. I have some personal family matters to look after, so I will skip next week, Saturday. Otherwise, I have the UP, Unity Party USA, newly elected chairman, what's his name, the former Minnesota Organization of Liberians in Minnesota, OLM former executive director, what's his name, Cape Dwyer, right? So I would have had him Saturday, but I'm going to skip Saturday. And I'm going to skip Saturday to attend to family matters and come back well fresh and ready to engage Brother Hassan Billet. You should be too. And I just hope and pray that we don't have the same situation that we're having tonight, because he's in Liberia too, just like our sister is. In Liberia now, as you know, everybody's on your own. You're on your own. So Martin Colley's show went so well yesterday because Martin Colley is not in Liberia. As I said, that's why we have, even at that, wherever he is, you saw we had a little bit, just small, free, blemishes. Every now and then, his line will freeze a little bit, and then we'll move on. So we had that yesterday, but overall, it was a great show. It was a great show. Please go and check it out. I think we got close to 500 views already. That's nothing now and then. Oh, by the way, I found out something about this viewing thing. You know how you find some of these online shows, when you go check them out right now, you'll see they are in the hope. I just got a new message from a sister. Not somebody else. You know how when you see some of these online platforms, their viewership is in the hundreds of thousands, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. That's great. That's great. I like to get there, but I found out some little secret about it. You want to hear the secret? Do you? Here's the secret. Unless you are Henry Costa, I'm not a big fan of Costa, but you got to state the fact. Costa is got to be the most popular Liberian talk show host. Period. He is. I don't know why people are so attracted to him, or maybe I know, but he's the most popular Liberian talk show host. Period. Right? I say this for to say that when Henry Costa is having a show, it's not uncommon to see thousands of people. In fact, there are times when he himself will wait the people. He will wait them. He will say, "I'm not going to break this news till I get 2,000, 1,000, viewers, 1,000. It will happen. You can see it. So by all accounts, Costa is popular, and Costa's show is great for him. Good for him, American people will say, right? But you know what I found out about the other shows who don't have similar live viewers when the show is ongoing, but shortly after the show, when you check the shows later, you know, when you go check my yesterday's show, 500 almost. For some other shows who you know that took place yesterday or even this morning, when you go check them out now, they got 30,000. You know why? Because they're paying so much money to Facebook for promotion. Facebook been hitting me up. Yeah. So they pay so much money to promote the video after the show. I got so many invitations from Facebook. We could you know, your video, we could push your video to reach to 10,000. You know, between this time and this time, for this cost, for this amount, we can push this video to reach to 30,000. So that's why now I understand. Because I wonder about some shows, but now I understand how, you know, some shows, you know, after the fact, after the show is done, over with, that when you go check them, they got several 100,000 viewers. It's been viewed by several 100,000 of people. It's not all actually true. Facebook is making a lot of money out of us. Too much money. Too much money Facebook is making out of us. Because when you pay, you know, when you pay them 20, 30, 40, 50, depending, they got different budget, you know, budget range. You want to reach to 500 people, they charge you 20, 25. You want to reach to 1,000. However many people you want to reach, Facebook got price tag on it. Then when you pay that, what I understand, what I suspect happening is that so that people will click on your video, they will shove it down the people's throat. As soon as somebody click on it, even by accident, they count that as view, you know, proof. The number go up by 1. Sometimes that person didn't even watch your video at all. Mistakenly, somebody click on it, boom. You know, somehow, some way, they'll get you the number that you pay for. It's business. Hey, why you think Mark Zuckerberg is a multi-millionaire now? A young man still in the stadium, still less than 40. Smart. They got brain. The same way they came out with Facebook, they're not gonna. They ain't done yet. Ain't over yet. Black American ain't over yet, brother. They are using their intellect, their head, you know, to make millions more out of all of us, including poor people like us, struggling people. I pay for internet. I got my laptop. I pay for all these studio things. Somebody smile on me. I take my precious time. I could be getting paid hourly. I take my precious time to come sit down here and do the show. And then when the show is done, I go pay Facebook money to give me some fake numbers of viewers. Seriously? And that makes me feel good in the eyes of what, people? No, I ain't doing that. I'm not going to put money behind that. So I had a show yesterday. It was a great show. The last time I checked before I came on this show today, it had close to 500 viewers. That's fine. Those are 500, in my opinion, true viewers, honest viewers, people who are interested, people forward it to people who took their time to watch a portion, part or all of the show, part of the show or all of the show, based on their interest in Liberia, on the show, the platform. But I'm not going to pay a dime to Facebook, not now. I don't plan to do it later. I don't know. For now, I don't intend to do so. I don't intend to pay Facebook, you know, to promote. I thought when your show is popular, like Costas, you know, I thought Facebook was supposed to pay you anyway. I thought YouTube's supposed to pay you. The more people, the more viewers you have. So how can they come? Or is it that they will come and take your money first and give you this and bring you this fake rating, and then they give you some money after that? They say, oh, now you have 100,000 viewers. We can send you a check of what, for $300 after they have extorted $1,000 or thousands of dollars from you. What kind of sense does that make? Now, I'm not taking on Facebook. I'm not fighting Facebook or YouTube, but this is the hardcore reality. Here's another reality I noticed recently. It wasn't that long ago. I got lots of friend requests to the point. It was to the point where it began concerning. Why am I getting this much friend requests? Now, one time it happened when I took Mamadi Jakite's seat at Prime FM. So that was understandable. Prime FM fans were trying to be my friends. So, they could follow us online, and they wanted to know me. I get that. But this is more recent. In fact, there was no reason for it. I just got so many friend requests, new friend requests, including from people that I didn't know at all. So I decided to accept a few of those friend requests. Guess what now? When I accepted those friend requests, the people who friends requests I accepted, when I accepted those people friend requests, then I got message back, saying that this person has accepted a friend request. Let me be a little clearer. Let's say I got friend requests from Brother Frank Sano, who is already my friend, my uncle, my big brother anyway. But for example, now, just so you can understand this better, let's say I got friend requests from Brother Frank Sano. I don't know him, nothing. But I go through the profile, I like the picture, I like the post, he's decent and all that. Then I go click accept. Then immediately when I click accept, I thought I was accepting Brother Frank Sano because he sent me a friend request. But immediately when I click accept, then the Facebook will let me know that Brother Frank Sano has just accepted my friend request. When in fact I accepted his. They're tricking us. They're tricking us. Now, obviously, this is a waste of time because you and I got no intellect, technology-wise or otherwise to do anything about any of this. We are at their mercy. At their mercy. They're going to do what they want to do. They will do what they will do, and we can't do a thing about it. It's like somebody told me one time, DNA it's fake, it's not real. This young lady that I was trying to inform that, oh, by the way, they say, oh, DNA is not even right. Like, seriously? Even if DNA is not right, it's not befitting for you and I to say that because they're going to think we're super crazy. What do we know to question DNA? How much education have we got? How much sciences? What was your best subject in school? Biology? Oh, no, I forgot you didn't even go to school. But yeah, you want to question DNA in this day and age. Even if DNA is not right, this is the time for DNA. And my friend, when something is popular, anyone who stands out to question that thing at that time, if you're not mindful, the people are going to say you're going mad. They'll say you're going mad, crazy, they will say. And that's why they must let things play out. It's like fingerprint. Fingerprint used to be the big thing before DNA. No one dare question it at that time. But today, oh man, so many people are walking out of prison free based on faulty fingerprints, based on errors, mistaking, wrong pressing. Fingerprint is no longer deemed to be the absolute, identity. It is still has great value to it, don't get me wrong. But today, this day and age, 21st century, I think DNA is the most reliable one because there's so many lawsuits all across this country and many other Western countries when it comes to fingerprinting. Eyewitness account. Anyway, I just want to let you know that I'm so sorry that we have to leave it here. Today's show is canceled. And like I said, I didn't come prepared to give you a monologue, to give you one of my lectures. If that was the case, I would have done so. I'm capable of doing that. I've done so many, many times. And I will do so again if I have to. Actually, I'm a big fan of that. Sometimes I love to hear myself, just in case you don't know. So sometimes I love to just come here and just talk and talk, and give you the opportunity to weigh in. Let's exchange ideas. Let's compare and contrast, without any hard feelings, without taking anything too personal. Let's just discuss issues, not personality. Let's disagree in ideology and not in our human relations. Can we do that? Can we? I hope so. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you once again, and thank you so much for the time spent with me. And I apologize on behalf of myself and my guest, Sister Victoria Torlo Koiquah, who was supposed to be our guest today. And please allow me to read her profile one more time before we pack up out of here. This lady, trust me, she would have worth our time. And make no mistake, next time when we reschedule her, you do not want to miss it, because this sister, from a brief conversation with her, and her CV I received, she's someone that want to hear from, want to listen to. So Victoria Torlo Koiquah, she is the executive director of Peace Liberia, promoting equality and accountability, Care Liberia. She's also the vice chair for Political and International Affairs, Alternative National Congress, ANC, and a member of the National Advisory Committee of the CPP. She's an advocate for gender equality and women political participation. That's all. Has she made it today? We're going to talk about COVID-19 and the Liberian government decimal response to COVID. Just like Martin Colley Day yesterday, we're going to revisit. So, and the beauty, I'm sure some of you already would have wondered, but why are we discussing the same topic twice? Martin Colley talked about it yesterday. Well, the reason it was important to talk about it today would have been, in my opinion, first, for you to hear from a different source. Second, for you to hear a woman, a female perspective on the same subject. So if you thought Martin Colley was lying, so would have compared the two. Would have just take her up on some of the things Martin Colley laid out yesterday. So we were going to talk about COVID-19. Obviously, as you heard me read her profile, she's big on women participation in politics, and so she's also going to talk about women participation in politics. And last but then we're going to talk about the $15,000 that we also talked about yesterday. Remember, the $15,000 that each Liberian lawmakers received. The 103 of them, the total amount that they took for themselves was $1,545,000 United States dollars for nothing, in the name of constituency engagement. And like Martin Colley said yesterday, they allotted a different money that they call constituency visit. So the question that we concluded with yesterday, Martin Colley and I, well, how do you engage people if you don't visit them? Doesn't it make sense to include visit with engagement? Why do you have separate money budgeted for entertainment over engagement? It's all a corrupt practice. So our guest was going to talk about that too. Has she made it? Unfortunately, she did not. And last but not the least, I had noted we're going to talk about other national trending issues, if you read my posts. And some of those trending national issues would have included the recent issue of Brendan Samuka. Brendan Samuka, you remember, who got elected as a senator for Lofa County, but still hasn't been, sworn in, because in fact, Supreme Court just, upheld the government's position and put a hold on his, process going forward. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the recent strike by LEC workers based on pay that they haven't been paid, and one of their co-workers was treated badly, poorly at some healthcare facility. And I was planning to also engage, since this our guest is a women and children advocate. I was planning to ask her about something that I spoke on last week or the week before, if I'm not mistaken, concerning one sister, Makula, who was hit by a 9-month-old pregnant woman who was hit by a motorbike and left to die. When the husband rushed her to 3 different healthcare facilities, they all rejected her. Started with our own brother, Musa Masco Sharif, who wants to be a representative in District 2 clinic they call Masco Clinic. That was the first place, I'm told, this motorbike accident, 9 months pregnant, Makula was rushed to. Masco, The community clinic rejected her on grounds that they were not equipped to deal with it. It was above and beyond whatever. So they turned her down. Then they rushed to Barnaville Junction to MSF clinic. Remember that big upstairs building that's being rented from Lusuni Camara, used by some international, to treatment, hospital people. They turned her down too. The reason, I don't know why they turned her down. But last not the least, they brought her to JFK. The most, you know JFK, right? The most notorious, not famous, notorious John F. Kennedy Medical Center in Cinco, Monrovia. That was their last hope. You know why? And it should have been, because that is the public hospital. I understand Moscow is a private clinic. I understand MSF, it is a private clinic, even though I still have problem with them, because I would think in medical ethics, when you see somebody in certain condition, a nine months pregnant woman in the pool of blood from motorbike accident, how do you turn that away in good conscience? So they went to JFK, the last hope. And believe it or not, JFK of all places also rejected her on grounds that they didn't have any bed. They were out of bed. COVID-19 patients had taken over all their beds. They were full to capacity. So they let this young pregnant woman die in her husband's arm. She died bleeding on her husband. It gets worse, in my opinion. You know how? So when this lady died, at least I learned from my sources, they came and it was confirmed that they said the lady and her baby died. That's what they told me. I said, how did they know that? How did they know that not only that the lady was dead, but how were they able to prove that the baby also died? They said, oh, some doctor came and did, and confirmed it. Some healthcare practitioner. Oh my God, that's where it got worse. So there was no doctor to come assess this woman's condition. Terrible condition. There was no healthcare practitioner to come examine this woman's condition as she was dying. But no, as soon as she's believed to be dead, then healthcare practitioners, including doctors perhaps, now had time to come and examine, to confirm that, yeah, she's dead and her unborn child is dead as well. What a country has Liberia turned to be, has Liberia turned into? What a people are we? Who are we? So I was going to ask my guest about whether she knew anything about that, because I have said, I spoke with someone close to the husband of this deceased, this lady. She left. I heard she left 3 children behind. So I was trying to get hold of the husband so that we could sue the Liberian government over this matter. Sue JFK. Sue them. And for nothing else, for the record. I was trying to build up momentum for that. Anyway, so sorry again. I mean, I love to talk, right? Every time I want to wrap this thing up and then I just jump at it. So all to indicate that I could have very well done a monologue for you, as I've done before and as I'm more than capable of doing again, but I'm not in the mood for that today. I'm not in the mood. Yeah, I know, right? I'm not in the mood. The Oja lady, I'm not in the mood. Yeah, here we are. But we'll leave it here. We'll reschedule. We'll keep you posted. We'll let you know when our guests will, come back on this show, for us to have the conversation that we had intended having today, inshallah. So let's all have a wonderful weekend. If you are like me, your work week start tomorrow. Have a good rest of your weekend. Rest well. Have a good weekday. And thank you to all of you, every single one of you, for all that you've done for us for this show. Your precious time to be here, your time to share this show, your time to promote this show, your time to defend this show, your time to stand with us when we are in the right. Please do not stand by me if I'm in the wrong. Please do not. Don't stand by me because you know me, because you like me, if you know I'm wrong. Please, you'll not be doing me justice. You'll not be doing me a good brother. You'll not be giving me a brotherly love. Anytime you feel that I'm in the error, anytime you feel that I'm wrong, please call me. Be the first to let me know. I would appreciate that more than some blanket loyalty. I don't support that. I don't support that. So Victoria just said, but we're not gonna have this show again. There's no way. But let me just see what the message she sent now. Yeah. Okay. So she said, okay. So I'm glad I got an okay from her for reschedule. So how should I leave you? What do you want me to leave you with? You know, for a show closing, what should I leave you with? Here, let me leave you with this, please. Yes.
We're forgetting that we need each other. We're forgetting that we need to look out for each other. We're forgetting that except the least of us is taken care of, that the best of us cannot survive. We're forgetting that it's one world and it's a very small world. I've traveled across all the continents, and I can tell you, we need each other. It's such a small world that if we don't learn to love and respect ourselves and forget those things that we think are important but are actually unimportant, and if we do not have the courage to speak up when we should, then we set every one of us up for trouble. Take a child from every local environment in this world, no matter their tribe, the color of their skin, their language, or where they come from. Put them all in one room, and you would find them as a team, playing together, supporting each other, except you teach them otherwise. They will work together to solve every problem that you give to them. That's what we need to be. We need to go back to being children of the world again. We need to be a people who believe in love, in faith, in kindness, in caring for our neighbors in a way that together we can find the solution of the world. We need to understand that not a single one of us is an island to itself, that every single one of us holds a piece of what is required to build the right world where we can all survive. Whether you're a business person or you're a career person or you're someone who is working in whatever field, we have one home and we share it together. We either protect it, we fight for it. In fighting for the world together, we fight for ourselves. In building a better world, we build a better home for every single one of us. In building a better future, we build a future for our children. It's a small world. It's too small for divisions. It's too small to be divided. But more than what some people think is what you think. How you can dare to think and determine what is right, and how you have the courage and the audacity to stand up and fight for what is right. How you can look your neighbor in the eye no matter where they come from and think of what is in their interest as well as in your interest. How you can remember that no matter how smart you are, you're not smart enough to survive by yourself. No matter how rich you are, your wealth alone cannot keep you alive and keep you safe. That we all need one another, looking out for one another and understanding.
All right, folks, I love that. I love this video. So bye now. Thank you all. Thanks again. Bye.